Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast, episode 717. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Corey Feinsod,
Yo.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hey.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers. Because guess what? We are live right now on Twitch, Tuesday nights, starting at 8 o'clock. You can join us for these live broadcasts. We have a movie cast, we have a game cast, we do some bonus rounds sometimes. If you do miss these live broadcasts, always go on over to YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, smash that like button, subscribe button, leave a comment. We'd love to hear from you guys too. But yeah, guys, 717 of the movie cast. So that's getting up there. We've been doing this for a while. It's been a crazy week. There's a lot of sports, obviously. Baseball playoff season, but I did watch the second episode of Penguin. And I really love that show. I think it's fantastic.
Awesome.
I just can't say enough about it. Like, I think there's no need to be familiar with Batman. In fact, I think fans of Batman might be angry at the show if they know characters or something, because they're taking liberties and stuff. But I don't know any of the those characters. Like, I can't tell you the mob bosses like names. I can't remember that. Keep that straight. But it's basically, like I said, I think I said it last week. It is Sopranos in the Batman universe. That's it. And there's nothing wrong. It works great. And
What does that mean?
What's that?
What does that mean? Like you're just saying like it's a mafia?
He's basically Tony Soprano. The same idea, like trying to grab power, stuff like that. It's Tony Soprano's story.
But what is Sopranos? Sopranos been off the air for a while.
Okay, so basically, I don't want to ruin Sopranos for people, but so Sopranos is about a guy who is in the mafia, who makes power plays to get more power, obviously, and move up the ladder and to be in charge of it all. And that's the game that Penguin's playing right now. He's moving through the whole order of the mafia right now, playing both families against each other. He's doing really well with it. It's like thread the needle. It's awesome.
But it's more like a mafia story about a crime boss trying to rise in power. Like
Yeah, but
I think of Sopranos person. I think more like Tony Soprano's more of he's a mob boss who's going to see a
family.
therapist because he's got like family issues and
Yeah, so he does have
like,
family issues. He got family problems, which we're learning about. So he's got issues with himself. I'm trying to tell you guys the plot, but there is a kid that he kind of brings into his wing early on, that becomes, like, I guess he sees himself into it in him. But the kid's, he's got a handicap stutter, and he sees the kid stutter a lot, and he, like, rather than kill him, he decides to have him join him, and that's just a small part of the story. But it's. I gave you no context. I don't want to spoil anything because I do think you guys should check it out at some point. Not necessarily like next week, but I do
I'll
think
probably
it's awesome.
check it out. I haven't gotten to yet, but I'll let it buffer a little bit and then
Okay.
probably.
Yeah, I mean, that's the frustrating part. Was the first episode came out like a week and a half ago, or over that. They released it early on the 19th of September, and then the next episode didn't come on until last Sunday. So it was like,
that's weird.
yeah, I don't know why they launched it early like that. That just caused a problem because, like, I want more, and they didn't give it to me until Sunday.
So are you supposed to be rooting for him? Is that like
Yeah, and you can. I mean, he's not like, it's like, again, like Tony Soprano. He's not a good guy, but you're also kind of rooting for him to pull it off at times, because you're just like, wow, he's really, how's he gonna do this right now? And it's like there's Arkham and stuff in it. There's references to all that stuff. So
I mean, it does sound more like if you'd enjoy it more if you didn't know the Batman lore.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? Because like
yeah, I think so.
I never watched Sopranos to its completion, but it's like, oh, I don't know what this character is going to do. Maybe he'll turn it around. Maybe he'll, whatever.
Right.
But it's like Penguin is like, he's a bad dude in like every continuity.
And it doesn't seem like they're straying far. Like, this is not
but I think Colin Farrell does
version.
an incredible job. I mean, incredible job playing that role, and I just
great.
can't say enough about it. Yeah, you wouldn't even know it's him. That's most people are like,
great.
Colin Farrell. So
I mean, I'm hopeful that they do a good job. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, the first episode's cold so far. And it does stand on its own. It would be cool to have Batman in it. There are references, but I did read that one of the biggest problems they had was the second they would write him into the episode, they felt that Batman would grab the light too much, and it's just like grab the phone too much. I mean, and that's the problem. So they didn't want to bring him in only because of that. Not that they couldn't, they can. They just chose to not because they didn't want to take away from the characters they're showing, and he felt like he was too much on TV. What, Mike? It's true. It would take away if you had Batman on the show. It would take away everything I'm talking about of the Penguin, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's basically what happened with the Mandalorian and Boba and Luke. It's like, wait.
Yeah. It's the same idea with the Mandalorian and Boba Fett. So.
Well,
or Luke. And
I would say Luke worked because he was there just once for a little.
Yeah, but that episode's memorable because Luke was in it, not what happened.
Well, what happened was directly
Luke showed up.
to his presence.
So,
Oh.
all right, that's pretty much it for me. Like I said, besides sports right now, there's football, baseball going on, and I don't think I saw anything else. Tony, what about you?
So unfortunately, I didn't get to watch Transformers 1 in the theaters, and at this point, I might just wait for it to be Paramount Plus because I don't know how long it's going
because
to
of
be
what
around.
it's doing. I would assume it's coming to digital pretty quick to try to recoup.
Right.
Yeah. And in fact, Beetlejuice is coming like next week.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like they had no faith in
Everything is so
Beetlejuice,
quick.
but it's what, like 400 million, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
We're giving
sixth right now in the year domestically, 250 domestically, and it's like sixth place. Crazy.
Yeah. But we'll see if I can make a matinee. I might do it because that's the thing is like, movies are so expensive these days. But we'll see.
Yeah.
What I did watch was on Max. Became available I think a couple months ago. Was Boy and the Heron. By Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's fantastic. That is amazing. Like, it deserved every single award it won, which I think was everything. Like, I think it was what, Golden Globe. What's the other big one?
Academy? Did it win the Academy Award?
Yeah,
I think
it won the Academy Award for animation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, the animation is beautiful. The story is pretty interesting. Just not spoiling it too much because, like, the way I went into it was kind of like in Japan they didn't market it like at all, like modern marketing. They were just like, hey, new Ghibli movie's coming out and you should just go to a theater and watch it. So I was like, oh, that's an interesting premise, right? Because, like, you don't see that these days, right? It's like, you really need to make sure, like...
You already know everything before going in.
Yeah, exactly. So
all right, I know what this movie is. This is how we get to every scene. All right.
Right.
Yeah, I think the last movie that I didn't know anything about was probably Jason Bourne, which is crazy to say. How long ago that was? Because that was before... Yeah, I mean, like, nowadays it's so hard to not know that much about it. You know what I mean? Like, that's true.
Yep. So just to get into it lightly, it's about a boy and a bird that can talk, actually voiced by Robert Pattinson, which is kind of funny. They actually have a lot of interesting voice casting once you start hearing some of the characters. Mark Hamill's in it. He voices one of the characters too.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is the English dub, so that's what I watched. Yeah. But it's about an adventure, you know, and it's kind of like Spirited Away, where like a lot of whimsical, magical, fantastical stuff happens, and it's just kind of like almost trippy in a way, where you're just like, oh, like this is cool, right? Because this is one of those things that, like, I'm not saying couldn't be done in like live action or anything like that, but
right,
I think it would look very, what's the right word here? Like obviously fake, or it's like, yeah, I don't buy this. Whereas animation lets you like lean into the exaggerations and the
Uncanny Valley at some points.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's like, you're not doing this and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was really good. I would highly recommend that at some point. But other than that, just continuing on with Batman Beyond. I forget if I mentioned this, into like late season 2 now, and it's so weird because some episodes now it's like, this is very kid centric, or you know, it's about him or his high school buddies, right? Like teenagers, and it's like they get into hijinks, and it's like, oh, Batman needs to save the teenagers, and it's like, okay, right? But then another episode is like this dude that stole some like power belt that let him basically get like Kitty Pryde phasing powers and stuff like that. So he was like spying on people and using that as like news source so he could promote his news casting career and stuff like that because he had the inside scoop. But then it's like, oh, he finds out who Terry is and he knows who Bruce Wayne is and they're Batman or we're our Batman. And he's like, I'm going to leak it, on my show because that's going to be the biggest story of the century. And it's like, oh no, the device, the powers affected him, and like he just falls through the fucking earth, and it's like, what? Like, that is a horrible way to go for a villain. Like, just, Bruce is like, yeah, he'll probably keep falling until he reaches the center of Earth, and that'll be the end of that. and that's the episode end. I'm like, what? How do you have like week to week? You're just like, what the fuck happened here? It's like one episode's like, I'm beating up a high school teenager that's a bully, and it's like, no other episodes like somebody horrific, like sci-fi horror body gone wrong, and yeah, somebody dies. It's like, what the fuck? So it is really weird. It's still enjoyable, but I'm just like, I would love to have been in the writers' room. They're like, flip a coin. Let's see what kind of episode we're writing this week, boys. It's like, high school episode. It's like, no, big boy episode. You know, somebody's gonna get mutilated or worse. It's like, oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah, Batman Beyond is a great show, but it's also got some weird quirkiness to it that I remember because I went back and watched it when I bought the Blu-rays, and I was like, wow.
The one thing I do gotta say is like they're very inconsistent with how powerful Batman is, because like in like the first couple episodes of the series, they're like, oh wow, this increases your strength ratio, right? And it's like, okay, cool, but he's like getting jobbed by like just random people, like as an adult. It's like, oh, what? Like I'm like, dude, you could like crack their jaw open. Like you're supposed to be fucking tough. But
yeah, and just I got to circle back right here because we have a question from Churro in the chat. So Churro, Boy and Heron did 173.5 worldwide million, so pretty decent.
I didn't really have
domestic.
Yeah, didn't
it broke records in Japan.
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, international was excellent.
And
a lot of advertising, which is crazy. Yeah,
yeah. Because I mean, Ghibli's becoming more well-renowned, you know, in the Western Hemisphere and stuff like that. Ever since Spirited Away back in like what 2001, I think, or something like that. But yeah,
I think like Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's
20
Moving
years old
Castle
now.
is good too. Yeah.
So
that
right.
like there's like 20-year anniversary this year or something.
Yep. All right, Corey, what have you been watching?
Well, Tony said he couldn't see it, but I did go see Transformers 1 with my kids.
Wow. Yeah, you had to.
Yeah, no, definitely had to go. And it is a really, really well done movie. Like, everything that we saw advertisement-wise did not make me care for it whatsoever. It's like, I could do without this movie. But they did a great job of, like, even if you're not a fan of Transformers, I think that this film just has a good, like, core story of two friends that have different ideologies, and then you see them. It's very interesting to see how the story progresses and their ideologies and their, you know, what they believe in and how they hang on to those different things and how they kind of, because in the beginning you're like, how are these guys ever enemies? Like, this does not make sense. Like, these are best buds, and like they start off from the bottom and they come up together, and they're like saving each other's lives, and they always got each other's back, and it's like, how does this happen?
The Yakuza trailer?
Kind of, I guess, but like, no, it's just cool to see, because like it could go really badly. It could be like, this is stupid, it's just a gimmick, it's a stupid thing, like, oh, we're gonna make these two arch nemesis just like be friends in the beginning, and like see, like, this is be fun to see what happens if they were buddies, and then, oh, it's so tragic, they're enemies now. But they actually do a really good job of making it legitimate and seem like, all right, I could see both sides of it. Like, I understand where one side's coming from, and I understand where the other one's coming from. You know, when you have somebody that you're like so close with, but you just have this one little thing that you just don't necessarily agree on all the time, and you have to compromise, and then you have to compromise the other way, and you compromise, constant compromise, and then just like there's a moment where that just you can't do that anymore.
Breaks down,
and it's really well paced, I think, in that sense, where it's just like it doesn't happen right away and it doesn't happen too late, and it happens at a time that just like makes a lot of sense, and the finale is really well put together, and just like you see a lot of the twists, I guess, coming, because it's still a kids movie in the end. Like, you can only do so much, but I mean, and if you know Transformers story lore and stuff, obviously there's things and there's moments that you're waiting for, but yeah, it's well put together. I could see them turning in franchise, you know, doing more stories with these characters, because I mean, they are like separate entities, you know, from the different versions of these characters.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the voices, like the actors, did a great job with the voices. Like, it's Chris Hemsworth, like he starts off being like this goofy, like kind of like bro guy, but then he really like channels that Peter Cullen voiced at the end, which is really cool.
That's what I've heard. Like the marketing for it made it seem like it was all goofy over the top, and I heard that was just
like
it was in there, but it was like sprinkled in. It wasn't like what the movie was about.
Yeah, and the first like kids. Tease of it was like him and like Optimus and
Orion.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think of their names.
Orion and
Optimus
something.
D something.
But
is Scarlett Johansson in this as a voice? She does.
She's in this as the female one. What do they call her in this? Alita. Thank you. Alita. Yep. Yeah, and so
they didn't advertise her. They didn't advertise her in this at all. But well, go on.
I didn't even realize it was her until I saw the credits either.
Yeah, they didn't put her name on it. So
they didn't put a lot of names on it.
No.
Yeah, they did a great job. Like I said, Chris Hemsworth did a fantastic job at the end.
They didn't try
and then Key, right? Keys. What's his name?
Keys Bumblebee.
He was,
That's good.
Yeah. Not very well done. Like I said, my kids loved it. It's got good action. It's got a good
enough
story, it's got enough for adults. Like I said, we said the advertisement. The first teaser, that's what I was going with. The first teaser is them like arguing with each other, and that's just like, what is this? Like,
I think Paramount's marketing team just needs to go get fired. I'm sorry. Or I don't know, train better. Maybe firing is too harsh, but because they filmed the D&D movie last year, and that was fantastic. And it was the kind of the same thing. Like, all they did was play up the jokey stuff, and left alone like the action. They left alone like any
what happened
heart and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like this had a lot of that too.
You're right.
Like there's moments where you're like, because you feel for these guys, you feel for these characters. You know, they're basically the bottom rung of society, and they're treated that way, and they have to try to prove themselves. And like they're these, best friends growing up together, and they just have this one little thing that they just don't agree on, and it just balloons into.
Yeah, I think they pulled a little bit from one of the IDW runs, where kind of the same thing. They were friends before they were the entities that we know as Optimus and Megatron, and it really was like the thing that was like they're both fighting for the same thing. It's just the methods and the steps taken to get there. Right?
And Magneto, right?
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
They want in the end they both have like good intentions, but it's how do you get there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a perfect analogy, I would say. Megatron is Magneto. And Charles is...
I mean, they definitely take it to extremes. But yeah, like the moments you see it happening, and the transformations are cool too. Like they do a good job there with them like becoming Transformers and things like that. So yeah, that's great. Love it.
Cool.
That's for sure. And I've been watching some anime as well. Caught up on Tower of God.
Season 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Has it gotten any better? I know you said yours like,
I mean, the one episode was just way out there and stupid. It's getting a little better. Seems like they're leading up to some stuff, and like you have the main character, like the two main characters from the first season, like they haven't seen each other yet in this season.
Oh wow, okay.
Until this latest episode, and so, but you're not sure. The one character's not sure because he's supposed to be dead. The one guy is supposed to be dead. So,
yeah,
it's interesting.
All right, Mike.
Nothing of note.
Okay.
All sports. Yankees.
All right. Well, let's get into news. We got some good news to talk about. Actually, box office real quick. I don't think there's much at the box office to talk about, right?
Well, another animated movie came out, like Robot.
Give me a second.
Wild Robot.
That's getting great reviews too.
$35.8 million. So that is something to talk about. That did.
No, my boys, when we went to see Transformers, they were because that came out this weekend, right? So they're like, "Oh, we should see that too."
So maybe next week, boys.
But
that's been getting great reviews too. So
yeah,
that's that might be. I might be bringing Ari to see that one. That's yeah. I forgot that was coming out. So 36 million almost. That's pretty good. Beetlejuice still did 16.2. That has done a great job. And like I said, they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot because it's coming out next week. Digital just planned already. So 375.2 worldwide. Amazing. For this movie.
And it's like again only the third domestic film to make 100 million opening weekend, which is crazy.
Yeah,
this year obviously.
You know what I don't understand is like a kids movie like Transformers 1. I really expected a better hold. A 63% drop. It's a lot.
They should have pushed it earlier because the school's back in session.
Yeah,
So
they missed
like
it.
you're really limiting it. Like I don't know what happened. Maybe they weren't
At least
confident
launch it on
in the movie.
holiday. Put it on the holiday, at least.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like that's what they should have grabbed.
I don't know.
So, but anyways, all right. There's your box office. Let's get into some news, guys.
Joker next week. Or this
I'm
coming
hearing
weekend.
really bad things about
that's
Joker.
right. Yeah, me too. I've heard that story's a mess.
I'm so hoping it just bombs.
My bold prediction:
Me too.
gone.
Please, please.
It is gonna bomb. It is gonna bomb. All right.
I hope. I don't know, because I hope it bombs. It's probably gonna do like 100 million opening weekend, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, what are we talking
Really?
about?" Like, I don't know.
I just 100 million seems lofty.
I just can't see it. I'm the one that said it's gonna be over $1 billion.
Yeah,
I know.
so did
I said this
so
was
did
gonna
Captain
beat that.
Marvel,
Like,
and then Marvel's did shit.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
I think
I'm
it's the
worried.
music, and this is a musical too. Like that's.
But the thing is, well, also like the
They're
reviews are
burying
saying it's not a musical. It's
They are
like what
burying
they screwed that.
Well, they
up,
know
too.
that. They know like you can't say it's a musical because that's box office poison. But it is. There's musicals in it, so it's just like people are just gonna hate it.
I hope so.
I hope so
Screw
too.
the Joker.
Whatever. Fuck
As
it.
in
Looks
this
really
version.
dumb on.
Yeah.
So, all right, we've got some news this week. A couple rumors. Let's go over the rumors first because they're just rumors. There's nothing more to that than rumors. So, Marvel Studio. This is from My Time to Shine, the person I follow, which take it for a grain of salt. Posted that Marvel wants The Rock to play Apocalypse in the MCU.
Fuck that.
Scorpion
That's all I
King.
have to say.
Yeah,
He's already the Scorpion King.
Like,
already
I
Black
mean,
Adam. He's already.
yeah. I mean, you know,
Every like Egyptian character, and I don't think that's his.
had Black Adam not existed, I'd probably be a little more excited to hear this. But after knowing what he did to the franchise, the universe, I feel like he's not the only reason that universe failed, but he did not save it. So
No, he didn't. He thought
And
it
he's
was.
been toxic to work with recently. I mean, that's the other thing. Like,
Yeah,
don't
that's what I've
bring
heard.
people that are not gonna be supportive of the friend. Like, be a team
I mean,
player.
the
right?
whole fact was he didn't want to have any association with Shazam, and it's like that's where your character is fucking from, dude. Like,
Right.
what are you talking about?
Damn, yeah, you're. It's like saying, but exactly, it's like saying, oh yeah, it's not have Green Goblin and Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
because, I mean, Green Goblin's much cooler, right?
Yeah, it's like what the fuck.
Yeah.
But also, like, I'm sorry, like Rock does not have the acting chops needed for a character like Apocalypse. And like the thing is, like,
I mean, he gives the people's eyebrow too many times during Black Adam, so I expect the Apocalypse. There's no, I couldn't do it. I can't do it.
right? And like, I mean, who was Apocalypse? Wasn't it Oscar Isaac for?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, like, what you're gonna downgrade to fucking from Oscar Isaac to fucking The Rock?
No one liked Oscar Isaac.
No, he's a
That's
fantastic
awkward.
actor. That's not
But
his
he's
fault.
yeah,
That was a
that's
bad
I'm
movie.
saying. Like, he was
Yeah.
a great actor. That wasn't his fault. Rock is a way
He's a
less
fantastic
actor than
actor.
Oscar Isaac.
Well recognized. He's a well recognized
I mean, the only reason you
great
think Rock is because Apocalypse is a bigger
He looks
character,
right.
but
He looks
that's-
right, but it's still silly.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is, it's that classic sort of like, 16-year-old
Fan cast?
Fan cast.
like fan cast.
Yeah.
Remember the Wizard magazine, Corey? Wizard
of
magazine.
course.
Oh, I
fan
used to
cast?
love that.
Yeah, that was it.
when they did
Yeah,
fan casting.
they used to do that all
Because
the
they
time.
nailed Patrick Stewart, I think.
I mean,
Yeah,
well,
it
he
was
was
that was just-
born.
yeah, it was
for
like
that
low.
role.
I was born for that role. Absolutely. So,
But no, I mean,
Uh,
I'm sure they will eventually tap into Rock because it seems like they always take DC's like Christian Bale or, but like, don't do a major villain. Like, do somebody that's like
yeah.
whatever.
Well, what
I
will
think
happen is they'll do Apocalypse with The Rock, and he'll screw it up, and then it'll turn into some King bullshit. They'll have to like
Well,
write him out.
Apocalypse is a shapeshifter, so
But also the thing is,
Yeah.
I don't think Rock would do it just because his ego gets in the way. You
Well,
just
that's
look
what
at
I'm
Fast and
saying,
Furious.
like,
Yeah, you look at Shazam and his
Look Marvel
um,
doesn't deal with egos. Look at Edward Norton. They don't deal with it.
yeah, they don't put up with. So I just
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't see
that's
this.
and Terrence Howard, man, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
Terrence
don't,
Howard, perfect example too. Yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
see it as being very likely at
Reliable.
all. I'm sure maybe somebody was like, "Hey, what about The Rock? He's not doing shit." Like,
Yeah,
I was like saying on
maybe-
Discord, it seems more like the Rock's people than Marvel's people.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, I mean, it's like The Rock people just. What is he even doing anything right now?
He's
Has he
doing
done anything since
WWE,
Black
man.
Adam?
WWE. Yeah,
Like-
he's kind of
No. I mean, like, sorry, acting wise.
He just did the Red One, or Red the.
He's,
Yeah,
he's gonna
Netflix
be in
one.
that new Christmas movie.
That
with
was the
Steve
one that they
Santa.
said he was a nightmare on set. That was the movie.
Yeah.
He
Isn't
was
that
a
with
nightmare on
Chris
set.
Evans?
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, yeah. That
And,
was a nightmare.
I wonder if he was begging Chris Evans, like, bro, please, just give me
J.K.
MCU.
Simmons. That's
Let me get me MCU.
It looks that movie looks really fun. Like as a holiday movie, I'm looking forward to that. But, anyways, other news being reported from that same person is the same leaker. Andy Serkis is playing Knull, which is the Venom villain. That's being reported right now. No, I don't know the character at all.
It's like big Venom's like the symbiote creator king person or something.
Who the fuck
I'm sure it'll be
cares?
CGI.
All I know is that when they teased it in the trailer, and the Knull, the comic book creators of Knull, found out that Knull was going to be.
That's how they found out? No way!
But from the trailer.
Holy shit!
And they're like, "What the fuck?" So they're going after Sony about it. So
wow,
yeah, they want their money.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Wow, I did not know that. That's better news than this. I don't think. I mean, Andy Serkis. That's pretty. Listen,
I mean, if it's all CG,
again, take it for whatever it is.
CG, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so he's a good guess.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Like a Dragon, Yakuza had an official trailer coming to Prime Video October 24th.
This month,
Cautiously
in October.
Are you in agreement with me? Are you cautiously optimistic for this series now? Because I thought the trailer was pretty good.
I'm cautiously pessimistic.
Mike didn't even see the trailer. So.
Oh,
I just watched it before.
Oh, you did? You watch it? Okay.
Yeah.
I thought the trailer looked fun. It looked like a Yakuza game, right?
No, it looked
more serious to me.
Serious.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked a little more serious than the Yakuza.
But I mean, maybe it's the inverse of the Transformers 1 thing, right? They want to advertise the serious stuff.
We gotta, it's exactly because it's a Yakuza mafia thing. We gotta be serious, but wait, there's more.
It's gotta be over the top.
Because like they did include the Majima with the Kiryu-chan thing, so I was like, okay, well that's you got that at least. So there's hope.
I'm actually I know we talked a little poorly on it early on, but
I think it looks good. Like, I'm not gonna say how good of an adaptation it is, but like just visually, like it didn't look like they cheaped out on the sets stuff or anything. I was like, oh, okay.
That's what I think. Like,
I like that it's different from what
I was surprised with this trailer.
From what
I was like, you know what?
Yeah, I'm most looking forward to the setting, really.
I mean, like I said,
that's what I get from this.
I fully expected this to be a train wreck. I didn't think it was going to be very good. But I am cautiously. I'm not going to say it looks good. I'm not going to go that far because yes, it did. But I'm cautiously optimistic from that.
Yeah.
They did a good job with the trailer to me.
It could easily be bad, but
at
least the trailer's like,
I'm not going to say
I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah. They've got my viewership.
It was like a Dragon Ball Evolution. Like,
I won't even wait to talk about it. I will go and see it. I won't even wait for.
Even those actors apologized.
Yeah, I know. Especially when Toriyama died. Like the main dude that played Goku was like, sorry. It's like,
sorry we screwed that up. Yeah,
bro. Maybe it's better if you just don't say anything anymore.
Just let us forget, please.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple DC news though. One's breaking, and the other one is this Batman villains. Corey, what'd you post here with Bane, Deathstroke getting a movie?
The Hollywood Reporter said that DC wants to make a Bane and Deathstroke movie. Like what? So it's like, oh, we.
No, I thought it was separate movies. Is it a duo?
I thought it was a duo movie. It was a duo. It was being reported as a duo movie, but then they said this could be something like a Suicide Squad.
I don't understand DC's fascination with like their villains.
I don't know.
Like,
well, it's because Joker did so well. So
I get that, but like Joker is like
iconic.
Joker is iconic, but also you can make that interesting in the way that like when you look at all the different variations, and I'll just talk about live action Jokers, right? Every Joker is kind of different, right? You have the recent one, which is like a thug, or street thug. Wow. Yeah, right. You have the previous one by Heath Ledger, iconic. And that was more of like an anarchist style, right? Where he's just, I just want to see the world burn. It's like, okay, yeah, that's legit, dude. Like, whatever. You have Jack Nicholson's Joker, which is again kind of like a mobster, take on it and stuff like that. And it's like Joker's Joker is kind of like, yeah, he's just a fucking neckbeard incel, like loser, fucking mad at the world, has a axe to grind. It's like, oh wow, that's. Yeah, we could sell a movie on that. But it's like, what are you going to do with Bane? What the fuck? Like, maybe the roided out gym bros? Like, I don't know how large of an audience that is. Like, and what, Deadshot's the other one, right?
Deathstroke.
Oh, Deathstroke? Like, bro, it's like...
People do like Deathstroke, but...
I mean, he's alright, but like,
Deadpool, like,
it's like...
variant in a way.
I actually want that to happen now, just so it could be people like, you're just a ripoff Deadpool, and it's like,
well, Deadpool's a rip-off of him.
I understand that,
yeah,
but I
that's
want
not
this to
what people
happen,
think.
so people be
Yeah.
like, Deathstroke just a rip-off of Deadpool. It's like, yeah,
Mhm.
let's.
Also,
let's
I
change it.
think their personalities couldn't be more different either.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's so weird, but
Yeah, and this it's like, what made you think with your super success with Suicide Squad? So let's just keep doing more Suicide Squads. Like, it
Well,
doesn't.
they were successful.
I don't
with
understand
the
that.
first one
I don't understand that
financially.
at all. But
That's
The
part of
first
it.
one was. Oh,
First one was financially successful.
Mm.
Yeah.
yep.
But,
I mean, I guess, but
you know,
I don't know. That's a stretch, but I don't know. They have an infatuation
it's
with
just
it.
tough, 'cause,
Like they
like-
just did it. They just rebooted it once. They're gonna do it again.
I mean,
Come on.
what's
you're
frustrating
gonna
is
reboot everything over and over again.
you have
because
these
that's
villains,
what
which
we
is
want,
like
apparently.
Batman's villains is a great rogue squad, like a gallery of villains. But like, use them in Batman.
no, they're
They just call
allergic to
Rogue
that,
Squad.
dude. They're fucking allergic to that, and it pisses me
No,
the fuck
Batman's
off.
not
Well,
allowed to
this
say
can-
stuff.
Yeah.
They're afraid.
All right.
What's breaking, Jim?
Last in the news, James Gunn announced today, just like an hour ago,
Oh, more DC.
that a
Woo woo.
dynamic duo animated films has been greenlit from DC Studios. It's going to feature not Batman, but the story of Robin. Two Robins, Dick Grayson and Jason Todd. Mix of animation, feature the first feature film from
Are we getting Red
Swaybox.
Hood Todd, or we actually get Robin Todd?
I don't know.
Robin.
Let's see. The
They'll
the
probably
story
change their
follows
roles
Dick
as the
Grayson
story goes.
as orphans. Dick Grayson and Jason Todd as orphan thieves. They call themselves a dynamic duo, produced by Matt Reeves and James Gunn, not set in their DC universes. Will mix animation, puppetry, and CGI.
Puppetry.
That's weird,
Sounds really dumb.
but that's
Okay.
fresh news.
Whatever.
So I don't know.
It's better than the Bane and fucking
Deathstroke.
I think so.
Deathstroke idea.
I think
Yeah.
so. It's fresh. It's different. We don't have that. We've seen these other ones, so not good versions, but we'll see.
Mm.
Anyways,
Cool.
All right, that's pretty much it for the news this week on the Moviecast, folks. So thanks for tuning in. If you're with us, stay tuned for the Gamecast coming up next. If you're watching this once again on Twitch, we appreciate it, guys. We're live at 8 o'clock on Tuesday nights. If not, YouTube, subscribe so you get notified when we post or when we go live. We'll see you guys over on the Gamecast. We are out.